let's be real. When it comes to belly fat, the internet is just packed with quick fixes and so-called miracle cures. But what does the science actually say? In this explainer, we're going to cut through all of that noise to give you the evidence-based truth on what it really takes to reduce that dangerous belly fat. Okay, let's get into it.
You know, we all tend to think of belly fat as that stuff on the outside, that part you can pinch. But what if I told you the most dangerous belly fat is something you can't see or touch at all? It's hidden deep inside your body, and it poses a really serious risk to your health.
Yeah, that hidden risk, it has a name: visceral fat. And honestly, understanding what it is and what it does is the absolute first step to taking back control.
So here's the deal with visceral fat that makes it so different. Unlike the fat just under your skin, this stuff isn't just sitting there. It's metabolically active, which is a fancy way of saying it's like a rogue organ, constantly pumping out hormones and other substances that can seriously mess with your body's systems.
And all that hormonal activity? Well, it leads directly to this pretty scary list of health problems. We're talking an increased risk for some of the most serious conditions out there, from heart disease to type 2 diabetes. So it's crystal clear. Tackling this fat isn't about how your clothes fit, it's about protecting your long-term health.
Okay, so the big question, how do we get rid of it? For a lot of us, the first thing that pops into our heads is crunches, right? But that, my friends, leads us to one of the biggest and most frustrating myths in the entire world of fitness.
The British Heart Foundation really hits the nail on the head here. They say it's impossible to reduce fat in one specific area by exercising that body part alone. In other words, you can do crunches till you're blue in the face. It'll give you stronger abs, for sure, but it won't magically melt the fat that's covering them up.
The way it actually works is like this. Think of your body's fat reserves as one big central energy bank, not a bunch of local branches. When you exercise, your body makes a withdrawal from that central bank. It doesn't just take energy from the belly region because that's the part you're working on.
It's a fair question, right? If 1,000 crunches a day won't cut it, what on earth actually does? Thankfully, the science gives us a really clear, two-part answer, and it all starts with what you're putting on your plate.
And that's the solution, right there. It all begins by rethinking how you eat. It's time to stop thinking in terms of restrictive diets and start thinking about a sustainable way of eating for life.
Let's face it, the word diet just sounds miserable and temporary. An eating plan, on the other hand, is all about making smart, sustainable choices. The best plan is always going to be the one you can actually stick with.
So what does a smart plan look like? Well, check this out. This Johns Hopkins study is fascinating. They put people on either a low-fat or a low-carb plan with the exact same number of calories. After 6 months, the low-carb group had lost, on average, 10 pounds more. And get this, it was higher quality weight loss, meaning they lost less muscle, which is absolutely crucial for keeping your metabolism fired up.
So we can build a smarter plate with just a few key rules. First, make protein your best friend. It keeps you feeling full. Second, start shifting away from simple carbs and sugary drinks like sodas. And third, become a label detective in the grocery store. You would be shocked how much sugar is hiding in those low-fat products.
A great meal should look something just like this. See the balance? You've got your lean protein, tons of colorful vegetables, and a sensible portion of good complex carbs. This is about fueling your body, not just filling a void.
All right, that's part 1 of the attack plan. Now for part 2, movement. And here's the really cool thing. While you can't spot reduce fat, the right kind of exercise is particularly good at burning that dangerous visceral fat we talked about.
Here's why that works. Exercise is an absolute rock star at helping lower your insulin levels. And since insulin is the hormone that basically tells your body to hang on to fat, especially around your midsection, getting those levels down is a massive win.
The most effective approach here is a 1-2 punch. First up is your aerobic exercise, or cardio. This is the foundation for burning calories, so think brisk walking, running, cycling. Then you add in strength training. Building more muscle literally turns your body into a more efficient 24/7 calorie-burning machine.
Now, for those of us with packed schedules, and let's be honest, that's most of us, this is a total game changer. High-intensity interval training, or HIIT,
Involves short bursts of all-out effort, followed by brief recovery periods. It's incredibly effective and can deliver huge benefits in a fraction of the time.
And we can even get more specific here. A major scientific review looked deep into this and found that while any HIIT is great, running-based HIIT, like sprints, was significantly more effective at reducing that deep visceral fat than cycling-based HIIT was. Pretty cool, right?
You can try this today. Go all out on an exercise like mountain climbers for 30 seconds, then just rest for 30 seconds. Repeat that cycle for just 10 or 20 minutes. I'm not gonna lie, it's tough, but that's exactly why it works so well.
Okay, we've busted the myths, we've looked at the proven strategies. Now, let's bring it all together into a simple, sustainable plan that you can actually use.
It really comes down to these 3 pillars. First, adopt that sustainable eating plan. Focus on lower carbs, higher protein, and whole foods. Second, move with purpose, combining that cardio and strength training. And finally, don't forget stress and sleep. Chronic stress elevates the hormone cortisol, which directly tells your body to store more fat around your middle.
This isn't about some dramatic, overnight transformation. It's about sustainable progress. So looking at these pillars, what's one small thing, like swapping a soda for water, or just taking a 10-minute walk, that you can commit to right now? That one change is where it all begins.